The doors were locked, their feet were chained, and still in the middle of the night they began to sing. Hello, and welcome to Stories That Speak Today. I'm Alex. In this series, Set Free, we're looking at the kind of freedom only God can give. Last time we saw a woman stand upright after years of living bent, her body healed and her dignity restored. This time we step into a prison cell where freedom comes before the doors even open. This episode is called Midnight Songs. In Acts chapter 16, Paul and Silas are in the city of Philippi. They've been preaching, helping, setting someone free from spiritual oppression. And after that, they are publicly beaten, stripped, whipped, dragged before officials, and then thrown into prison. The jailer is ordered to make sure they don't escape. So he places them in the inner dungeon and fastens their feet in stocks, their backs still bleeding. Around midnight, Paul and Silas are praying and singing hymns to God. The other prisoners are listening. And suddenly, the ground begins to shake. A violent earthquake. Doors fly open, chains fall loose. But here's the surprising part. Paul and Silas do not run. They stay. The jailer wakes up to chaos and assumes the worst. If the prisoners are gone, his life is over. In panic, he draws his sword to end his life. But Paul shouts into the darkness, "Don't harm yourselves. We are all here." The doors are open, but they are not fleeing. The jailer rushes in trembling. He brings them out and asks, "Sirs, what must I do to be saved?" That night, the jailer, not the prisoners, becomes the one set free. This freedom is different. In episode 2, a woman stood upright. Her body changed. Here, the chains remain, at least for a while. But something inside Paul and Silas was already free. They sang before the earthquake. They prayed before the doors opened. Their freedom did not begin when the ground shook. It began in the dark. Sometimes freedom is not the removal of chains. It's the refusal to let chains define you. Sometimes a prison still stands, but fear does not. The doors may not open, but hope does. And this is the kind of freedom that only God can give. It's not dependent on open doors. It's rooted in trust. Will you pray with me? Lord, teach us to trust you in the dark when the doors have not yet opened and the chains still feel tight. Give us freedom that begins within and courage to remain steady until you move. Amen. Thank you for joining me today. The story of Paul and Silas is found in Acts 16:16 through 34. Hope you'll join me again soon. Next time, on Stories That Speak Today, we'll step into another prison and see what happens when God opens doors no one else can.